Welcome to the chat on Newsday Amarillo and News Channel 10-2. I'm David Lovejoy.
And I'm the High Plains pundit, Dan Butcher.
And I'm your summertime edition of Chuckalicious, Chuck Williams.
And we're joined by one of our favorites today, Miss Julie Heinrich from CTSI. Usually this time of year, we think we're taking a break from everything. Don't worry about it. But when it comes to your IT system, there is no break. Miss Julie, welcome to the chat. How are you doing this morning?
I am doing good. How are you?
Doing great. We're doing great.
Good to see you guys again.
Yes, ma'am.
Julie, summer has rolled in with a vengeance here in the Texas Panhandle and Amarillo, and it's getting hotter, and everybody's trying to keep cool, not get too hot. Tell everybody out there why it's important that you keep your IT systems cool as well.
So with IT and any kind of, hardware, heat is the enemy. Which, can also be my personal enemy as well. So I can relate. Nobody likes to be too hot. Yeah, as the summer, as these temperatures start to rise, I mean, we've seen this happen before where the temperatures get too hot, and if your AC can't keep up, I mean, there's that whole thing with like ERCOT that had that big problem. It was the same like in the winter.
Right.
And so you really have to make sure you have something in place. You're keeping that IT cool. And so, one of the things that we recommend is you want to make sure that one, like your server fans are working, because those are internal, those are in the server themselves. They're trying to keep it cool, but also that you have this in a cool separate place, that if for some reason your AC goes out, that still stays cool, kind of has like a second, like a backup, if you will, because heat to technology is not a good thing. It's kind of like, your car, you don't want it to overheat, right? If it gets overheated, then it stops working.
Right.
So it's the same for IT.
Besides keeping your IT hardware cool, what else does businesses have to maintain other than the overheating? What else do they have to look forward to or try to keep a jump ahead of?
Well, pretty much everything. Cybersecurity for sure. I always say that. I mean, I've told y'all that thousands of times, and I'm just put me as the cybersecurity girl every month. But it's one of those things that I'm never going to stop talking about it until it doesn't become a problem, which here's hoping one day, but you never know. At this point, though, with cybersecurity, it's one of those things you have to stay on top of. You have to make sure that you're constantly monitoring that. With those IT systems too, a lot of things, this technology actually has built in it where it can tell you predictive failure, right? So it can actually kind of tell you that a fan is about to go out. So you're not in the, desert summer and all of a sudden that fan goes out. If you kind of know about it ahead of time, then you're in a much better position. And so it's really important with this technology that you're monitoring that, you're taking that preventative maintenance approach, and you have to have those tools in place to monitor it. That's something that we do internally. That's something that we do for all of the businesses that we support. Is we're checking that, we're seeing those alerts, and we're trying to stay ahead of it as far as saying, hey, by the way, this is saying that it's about to go out. Let's go ahead and get another one, so that way you're not in trouble should this fail. And so, any kind of preventative maintenance you can do for the things, your car. Also, I always compare it to a car, but you got to get that oil change. You don't want to, but you also don't want to be without a car.
Yeah, you don't want to buy a new engine right now, do you? You got oil change or engine. It's summertime. We get a little lax with stuff, especially with security of our systems. How imperative it is that we stay up to date on the latest software updates, the latest security. Changing passwords is a simple thing we can do that will keep your system safer. How important is that during these months?
Very, very. Like you said, just because it's summertime, IT doesn't take time off. It shouldn't. And that's not to say that your people can't. Please give your people time off. We're all humans. We need breaks for sure. But you want to make sure that while you're on that break, that your systems are still they're still working, that you're doing those preventive maintenance things. And then, cybersecurity, it's not something you can ever sleep on, ever. It's not something you can ever really take a break from. But, one of the benefits of, working with someone like CTSI is that we have those tools in place. And so with cybersecurity, think of it like these are tools, right? It's not necessarily people. It's not like there's people that are doing these specific things, but these tools are monitored and managed by people, right? And so when you partner with someone like CTSI, we don't take vacation. So even if, I'm not here, there's somebody else that's making sure that this is working 24/7. We've got that backup, but we also have tools that are that backup as well. I love that you said change your passwords. Please change your passwords.
Yeah.
You can even set it up where it forces you to every 90 days. And I know people don't like it. They don't like it.
Yeah.
We hear from Scott. For all your IT needs, contact the great folks at CTSI, located right here in Amarillo, 600 South Tyler. Give them a call at 800-687-2874. Miss Julie, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, guys. It's great to see you as always.
All right. Be careful. We'll see you again next month.
All right. You too.
All right.
Cool.
Check it, Julie.
Dan, right. Dan, thank you so much for hanging out with us last couple of days, man.